In this video, I'm going to share with you a very simple but powerful 4-step technique to get you to manifest what you want and to keep it simple. Ready? Here we go. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for future videos on the law of attraction to get your well-being at its optimum. Also, check out my Facebook and Instagram page at Divine Alchemy 1111, where I help you create the reality that you want. And now, back to the video. Hello, welcome to another episode of Divine Alchemy, where I help you create the reality that you want. My name is Jason, and thank you very much for joining me today. So, today we're going to be talking about a very powerful technique, but also a very simple one to get you manifesting at more of an accelerated rate and to get you more accuracy. And the name of the game of this whole law of attraction stuff is to get results. Now, there's a bunch of, techniques that are out there, and they're great, but however, like I've said again on this channel, it's all about programming your subconscious mind. Now, I've tried different techniques such as, writing it down like, 50 times or, all that stuff. And after a while, it really gets old and not really a big fan of that, but that's just my personal choice. If that technique, resonates best with you, and this is one of the examples, then by all means do it. But for me, I really like keeping this stuff very simple. So within these techniques and processes, I came up with a pretty simple 4-step technique to where the first out of the steps that you will do is to obviously select what you want. You want to select your manifestation of what it is. Now, it could be the house that you want, the car that you want, the wealth that you want, or the lifestyle that you want. But however, when you are first getting into this, pick something that you feel that is that you feel that you can attain, that it's more believable in your subconscious mind. Because when we're working up on the progressive steps on these techniques and this whole principle here, I wouldn't suggest say, hey, I want to manifest $5 million right off at the bat. That can be very possible, but you're going to be probably waiting quite a while. But then again, you never know. Whatsoever, select your manifestation. I would suggest starting off something small, like a cup of coffee, or getting a free dinner, or possibly a phone call from a friend or something like that. And I'm really not too big on manifesting phone calls and texts and all that stuff, because I feel that I'm kind of manipulating other people's energy, so which I'm not really a big fan of doing personally. However, manifesting in tangible things like a physical object, or hey, I want to try to manifest a $2 bill just to gain my faith to see if this can happen out of a way that I least expect. So you want to select your manifestation that feels normal and natural and easy to you. The second step is to dimensionalize your manifestation. Like I said again, when it comes to manifesting, everything runs from your subconscious mind. It does not know the difference between fact or fiction. Whatever you tell it and impress upon it, it will start to crystallize into solid fact, and your body will feel as if it is living in that event already. So when you're tapping into the quantum field of infinite possibility, anything that you can already think of, it already exists. You're just tapping into that energy. So by you dimensionalizing, or what people call visualization, I prefer more to say dimensionalize, because you are dimensionalizing in your mind with all your 5 senses, and you want to be as vivid as you possibly can, and to be as clear as you can too. Now, don't get so clear in that you're like working out the super fine-tuned specifics, because then you're putting too much attachment into it, and you're getting you don't want to form an obsession on it either. So when you become obsessed with a manifestation, that also kills the process and will add more resistance. So For example, if you want to manifest the perfect house, so you get into, you can go to sleep or prior to sleep, start dimensionalizing in your mind, or just set some time throughout your day to sit in some stillness and calm your mind. You start dimensionalizing in your mind what it would be like to be walking through your dream house. What type of people would you be having over? What type of events would you be having over there? Would you have a family, running around all over the place having a good time? Would it have a large yard, or would you be living on the ocean? And what would the smells be like? Just imagine like cooking family dinner, the sights, the sounds, the feelings. Like I said, if you're eating dinner there, well, what would that taste like? So you want to encompass everything that you can dimensionalize in your mind, in your fifth dimensional reality inside, into that manifestation. And again, you could do this with anything. Like if you have a cup of coffee, I've manifested numerous amounts of coffee for free when I least expected it, because my subconscious mind was probably thinking about coffee unconsciously, and it would lead me up to those chain of events. So what would it feel like to be holding the cup in your hand? What would it, smell like? What would it taste like? Would you be having a conversation with somebody? And to get, specific and detailed as you can, but again, don't get overly detailed where you start becoming obsessed. So that is step 2. Step 3 is probably the most important part, is to activate it with your emotion, because like I said, you and your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between fact or fiction. So once you dimensionalize it, you want to start adding feeling and emotion behind it, because once you start adding feeling and emotion behind it, your brain starts to wire neurologically, and you're basically practicing and priming your brain ahead of the event. So it starts to bridge those neurons in your brain. And then when you add the emotion behind it, you start releasing neurochemical transmitters from your brain into your body, and you're through thought alone, you are releasing feeling. And so when you release those transmitters in your body, or those feelings in your body, you are raising your vibration and your body's frequency, because when you're thinking in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency, just like Nikola Tesla would say, to discover the secrets of the universe, all is vibration, or something along those lines, kind of paraphrasing, but it's all energy. So when you are putting those emotions into your body, you're programming your cells, and then you're sending that frequency out into the quantum field of possibility. You're literally sending energy out there. And so by doing that, your body feels as if it's living in that event right now. And the key is, you want to feel that this has already taken place, it's already a done deal, and it's already on its way. But again, I want to emphasize that you want to manifest things that feel very natural to you, that are a part of your true core essence. Like I said, is it possible to manifest $5-10 million, just like that? It could, but however, in simplistic, realistic terms, most people's minds are not programmed to feel that they are worthy of such wealth yet. So that's why I say take this as a progression. So like I said, you want to activate with emotion. You are sending frequency out from your body's biofield, because everything is linked with energy. Everything is energetically connected. So now you start to program that and start drawing that event to you, or you walk into it. So, and then for the fourth one is to let it go. After you do the first 3 steps, the fourth step, you want to let that go. Do not figure out how it's going to happen. Do not predict how it's going to happen. And especially when people get into the law of attraction or spirituality and all that, they can have a tendency, and I've went through this myself too, that everything starts to connect, like, oh, there's this car driving down here, it's red, and oh my God, this connection connects to this, to this, to this, and it leads down to a rabbit hole, and people will start thinking those are synchronicities when they're really not. A true synchronicity will happen when you least expect it, and that will let you know that you are on the right track. So the idea is, you do the 3 steps, then you let it go, and go about your business. Now, one of the things too is that when you do this 4-step process, obviously you can have a tendency to start doubting. So when you start doubting, that's where, a simple affirmation comes into play, or look at a vision board that you have and to snap you right out of that, negative thinking that could happen. And are you going to have negative thoughts throughout your day? Yeah. I don't want to be unrealistic and say you're going to walk throughout your whole life not having any, negative thoughts whatsoever. You will. But however, when you get more practice at observing these negative thoughts and letting them float right by and not judging them, they start losing its power. So when you start having, let's say you start having all these negative thoughts coming in, it's basically that you've conditioned your mind so much that you put up a shield around your mind and it just starts bouncing right off. It's like, yeah, that's a negative thought, but it's unrealistic. It's not real. It's not true. And then that starts opening the gate even more to your subconscious mind, where you start having more faith in yourself, more faith in the process, and then you can start gradually progressing up the ladder of what it is that you want to manifest. So if you are, for example, working towards, your financial freedom or the job that you want, or if you just want to be a millionaire and live a very rich lifestyle, that will probably take a little bit longer time. And, you have to also, within this 4-step process, clear out the negative energies that run in your mind, and start rebuilding your mind of its fortitude and self-image. A very important thing. If you don't feel worthy of the manifestations that you want, you probably may not get it because you do not feel worthy. And believe it or not, from the moment you were born, you were already worthy, but we have let people talk ourselves out of our own greatness. And it's not that they were ill-intentioned. As a matter of fact, they were probably more looking at it from a well-meaning standpoint, because they don't want to see you get hurt or take chances and get hurt. And that's usually a pretty big thing when it comes to friends and families. Like, hey, I want to do this, and then they'll give you all this negative self-talk, but they think that they're actually doing you a service, and it's not coming from a bad place. But however, in doing this 4-step process, and then once you get that manifestation, let's say you start off with something simple, which I highly suggest, like a cup of coffee or a $2 bill, or to see if I can get this synchronistic moment, then it's like, holy cow, this stuff actually works. And if you're doing something along the lines of like you wanting to manifest a lot of wealth, well, again, it may not fall right in your lap just like that, but I have seen many testimonials where people are using these law of attraction principles and they win large amounts of money either with the lotto or scratch off tickets. That's very possible too. But you want to keep your mind open to all possibilities. The way you gain wealth, it's not just one way, because our minds think very linear. All channels are open to establish your wealth or your financial freedom, because that's obviously one of the biggest ones people want to manifest. And it's not so much about the money, it's about having the comfort and the freedom to do as they please. So with that being said, you can run through a bridge of incidents so gradually that it will lead you to the right resources, to the right person, to the right place, and the right information for you to get your big break while you're working on your job. And then that's where you start to see the monetary value of your business or your wealth start to increase. So again, you're going to have to give it some time. Like I said, it can happen in a day, a week, a month, 6 months from now. It can happen in years from now. But if you keep working out this process, you will get better and better, start becoming more confident, more bold, and more daring, and start trusting in your intuition. And intuition is another thing that we get talked out of, because there's a lot of people out there that would say like, oh, this is a bunch of, hokiness or, wishful thinking. Things like that don't exist. But I highly suggest, and don't just take it from me, to look up testimonials of people manifesting their desires, and not only manifesting physical things, but also healings, like spontaneous remissions of so-called incurable diseases, and people doing the impossible with something similar to this 4-step process. So again, Dr. Joe Dispenza is a great reference to look at because he has numerous amounts of testimonials of people actually on his stage and at his seminars of these spontaneous remissions, like people curing themselves of Parkinson's disease, autoimmune deficiencies. There was one person who had a hole in their brain and they were doing these meditations, and you see on the x-rays that the hole in the brain healed basically all up and you can't even tell that it's there. So it's pretty mind-boggling stuff on how powerful your mind, but not only your mind, but your subconscious mind, if you get it on board. And you can become anything that you want if you program your subconscious mind properly. So just to run through again with the technique, you first want to select your manifestation, number 1. You want to dimensionalize it in your mind, basically visualize with all your 5 senses in your mind's eye. And then 3, you want to activate it with emotion, because the feeling is what sends out that energy throughout your biofield to those chain of events. And then number 4, you want to let it go. And that's it. Go about your day, think about it here and there, but if you're going to think about it, be playful with it and just basically repeat this process, every day until you get your manifestation. Or if you just like daydreaming about different things, that's perfectly fine too. So this is one of the techniques that actually helps me out with getting clearer on what it is that I want and what do I truly want to manifest in my life. And so I also have a 30-day wellness and well-being meditation that will help you reprogram your subconscious mind at night. I got the links at the end screens of the video and then also in the link up above. And it's completely free. Just listen to it for 15 minutes as you're dozing off. You don't need to sit in any meditative positions because, again, while you're sleeping, your mind goes into the theta brainwave state and starts programming it that way, and you'll start seeing a shift throughout your days to come if you just keep at it. And it works if you work it. It's not just going to work if you don't put in some form of mental effort into it. So if you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, also bell notification and share please for future videos on how to get you manifesting with simplicity and speed. And thank you very much for watching. Blessings.